Safe to say that Starfield has launched and has had a few problems here and there. You can see my 31 problems with Starfield up in this corner over here, that way, and also my full review. Now my review just goes over like the entire game. My 31 problems goes more into depth about 31 problems in the game that are holding it back from being a great game. Now, having said that, obviously, if you have the game on PC, on Steam, you can download mods from Nexus mods and fix a lot of these problems. If you're on console, you're kind of shit out of luck. They have been coming out or planning to come out with patches to fix some problems. There are a lot of problems, I think, with the game, some smaller than others. A big problem is obviously the engine. You can't fix the engine with a mod, but there are lots of problems that already have fixes in Starfield on PC with mods. So I'm going to go into the top 10 mods you need on day one to fix Starfield. All right, number one, obviously, you need a performance adjuster and optimization, because any PC game that comes out, especially Bethesda PC games, they are unoptimized like shit. So Starfield performance optimizations is going to increase the overall performance and optimization of the game. Obviously, you can see this this chart here gives you a general idea how much better performance you'll get. It's not a massive amount, but again, there's no reason not to download this mod. The game is optimized like shit, and you will see a difference in performance. It doesn't make a massive difference. Obviously, you get like a few better frames here and there, but you want the game to be optimized, especially if you are running at the highest you can go. If you're playing on ultra, you want as many frames as possible. This is, of course, so original versus optimized, you can see a decent increase. It's always better to have a game optimized, so this is definitely one of the first things you should get. Always optimize your games. Number two, a lot of these things are just makes life that much easier. Okay, undelayed menus in the game. For some reason, all the menus, whenever you open or close them, there's a delay. So you can see from this the difference before and after. It's instantaneous opening of menus. There's no longer a delay. Everyone kind of hated that. There's no reason to have a delay in the game. We already have enough delays as it is. Normally you had to hold down the space button, the backspace button, or the escape button to open or close things. Now it is instantaneous. Just makes life easier. It's an ease of life thing. Many of these things on this list are just going to make life easier, because so many decisions in the game just made life objectively more difficult. Number 3 and 4 are connected. That's because there isn't a comprehensive UI fix right now, or at least change. So number 3 is compact mission UI, and number 4 is StarUI Inventory. So these look pretty much the same, but this one is just for the missions. Everybody complained about the UI and how bad it was. So this just makes it so you can see all the missions, because normally the missions would be spread out, like you had to like scroll down to find stuff, and it was just easier to have everything on the same page, so you don't have to go through it, so you can see how everything is easy to see. And if we go to the number 4 StarUI Inventory, this does a number of things. First off, it just makes the inventory better, and also it just makes everything easier to see. You can see the clean and concise it has, whatnot, and also it gives you lots of information you can easily see, like its mass and damage, and it also gives symbols to different items, so that you can at a glance sort and just look at different items much easier, because normally it's literally just like a list of every item, and it's hard to differentiate. You have to read everything and figure out what it is. This just makes it easier. Each item has a different symbol, and you can sort by those symbols, and it just makes life so much easier right off the start, because everybody complained about how bad the UI was. So this is just makes life so much easier, because again, in Starfield you are in your menus so much, and having something like this just makes it so much easier to deal with. Number 5, there's a mod for this, obviously, Starfield FOV. You can also go into the INI files to fix this, but for most people, they don't want to do that, so this is fine. Again, somehow we have a PC release of a game without an FOV slider. It's just unbelievable. I think you're locked to 70 probably. In this one, you can obviously go to 120 to 100. I usually go to 90 or 100 possibly, but default is 70. You're kind of looking through a cone, and then obviously you go to 120 and it just opens up and just gives you a much better perspective, which I thought was ridiculous to not have it. Like in this day and age, like how can you not have an FOV slider in a PC game? This is such a necessary mod. It's incredible they don't have it already in the game. Okay, number 6, ship builder tolerance tweaks. So a lot of the times in the game, shipbuilding, a lot of fun. While it is a lot of fun, it can be very difficult to get ship parts to go exactly where you want to. Sometimes it just does not want to work with you. Like certainly, like if you want to build like multi-level ships, it just will not go to where you want. Even if there's room for whatever part you want to put in, it just won't necessarily go there. So now there's this mod will basically allow you to put ship parts much easier. Now, there are other mods that essentially allow you to put ship parts inside other parts, and I think that's a little too far. Like, you can't have like certain ship parts inside other ones. That just like kind of ruins whatever balance is already in shipbuilding. This one just basically allows it so that ship parts, when they should be able to fit, will actually go there. And if you're trying to put a ship part in a specific spot and it just won't go, this will help make it just fit in that part. Number 7, again, absolutely ridiculous to still have this in any game, open world game, where the merchants have no money to sell, and then they don't replenish their money at any decent pace. So you're just constantly having to move between merchants and hope they have money. Richer merchants, absolutely 100% necessary. Now you have a few options with this mod. You can do, I think, 2x, 4x, 8x, and then unlimited, or I think 16x as well. I didn't go with, I think unlimited is a little too much. Like, you don't want a guy, you don't want to go like to the same guy every time. Just don't dump everything. I think something like 4x or 8x, maybe even 16x, I think that's very appropriate, because you don't want to like necessarily break the game by having every vendor have unlimited credits. I think 8x is a really good sweet spot for richer merchants. All right, number 8, very necessary: ship skip, instant station docking, and more. So if you play the game at all, you know that when you go to a space station like the Eye or the Crimson Fleet, for instance, you have to load in, you have to fly, you have to dock, you get the docking animation, and you hit enter. It's just an annoying process, because once you've done it 3 times, you've done it every time. Like, it's such a boring execution of hitting 3 buttons and waiting for load screen. So this will just make it so you don't have to dock anymore. You essentially just dock and you walk in. So it just skips 2 load screens and 1 extra button click. Number 9, Jetpack Overhaul. This is a really good mod that I've been using a lot, and it makes jetpacks much better. So normally when you use a jetpack, you hit the button once, it uses a predetermined amount of jetpack thrust, and then that's it, and then you spam it again. With this, you actually have to hold it down. Gives you much greater control of the jetpack. There's also a bunch of other options, like it says optional energy consumption and thrust tweaks. So you can increase the thrust, decrease it. You can go crazy with it. You can like fly across a map if you want to. I think what's really cool is the optional energy consumption. So if you are looking to role play, you can make it so that using your jetpack takes certain resources to use, which I think is very cool if you are into role playing. Number 10, the last one, this also has to do with performance, but this one wasn't in that performance mod specifically. That was more just about optimization. This is the Starfield Upscaler, replacing FSR2 with DLSS or XeSS. So this is your upscaling and shaders. So what this basically just optimizes the specific for NVIDIA, of course, for GTX if you have it, which most people do anyways, but if you don't, I'm sorry. But this just increases the upscaling ability and just makes the game look better overall. And this combined with optimization will really make the game not only run better, but also look better. And you can also play the game at higher frames if you want to. So for me, you know, on day 1, the game was struggling, 60 FPS. You know, I have a 3060. It's not nothing. It's a decent graphics card. And I was struggling with the game on the lowest settings to get 60 FPS. Once I have this with the Starfield performance optimization, which is the first one we had, combine these two, it's better optimized. You're getting a better looking game, and you're getting more frames. So these two together work really well to really make the game look what it was supposed to look like on launch day. All right, guys, so those are 10 mods you need in Starfield. There's tons of mods you can get, tons of ease of life mods that just make life so much easier in Starfield. But it was kind of difficult to even decide these 10, because 10 like you need versus 10 like you just want. So there's tons of mods. I encourage PC players to download these, and also just to explore Nexus Starfield and look at other mods, because every day there's more mods coming out that make the game better and better. If you're on console, I'm sorry, you can look forward to patches that may fix some of these problems. They are fixing some, but not all of them, obviously. So hope you guys enjoyed. I will have the list of the mods in the description if you'd like to download these 10 mods, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.